When and how did we discover Mesopotamia existed?
That's an awesome question, Blake. And that's some awesome hair too. It's the kind of tricky question to answer because talking about the discovery of Mesopotamia kind of implies that no one knew anything about it before archaeologists came along and started digging things up. While what we would call the scientific archaeological study of Mesopotamia began in the 19th century, the people who actually lived in Iraq at the time, and well before that, were most likely well aware that other people had been there before them. The archaeological remains of Mesopotamia can be pretty hard to miss. The places where Mesopotamian cities are now are huge hills, called tells, full of ancient everyday objects, including buildings, dishes, furniture and tools, what archaeologists call material culture. In fact, there's so much ancient stuff in Iraq that you can just bend down and pick it up off the ground. Although you shouldn't do that, you should really just leave it for the archaeologists. There are also large ancient rock carvings that have been known about ever since they were first carved. So Mesopotamia wasn't so much discovered, it's more that there was an increased awareness of it among European people who started to explore the area in the 19th century CE. Though European travellers had been aware of Mesopotamian inscriptions and archaeology since at least the early 1600s. This increasing awareness seems to have started with a man named Claudius James Rich, who worked for the East India Trading Company and was stationed in Baghdad. He explored the sites of Babylon, Nineveh and Persepolis, and then wrote about his experiences in 2 books that were published in 1815 and 1818. He also brought a collection of artefacts home to Britain that were exhibited in the British Museum. There was such excitement generated by Rich's writing and collection that official archaeological investigations started soon after, with a man named Paul Emile Boter excavating the city of 🀭Support in 1842 and 1843, followed by Austin Henry Layard excavating at the city of Nimrud. At the same time as these excavations were starting, European academics were also trying to decipher cuneiform, the writing system used in Mesopotamia. The script was officially deciphered in 1857, opening up the amazing world of cuneiform texts for people to translate and study. In 1872, a man named George Smith found the Mesopotamian flood narrative, a story that is incredibly similar to the story of Noah's flood in the Bible, leading to a yet again increased interest in Mesopotamia and many more excavations. Sadly, all of this excitement and fascination also led to the start of a problem archaeologists are still dealing with today: people looting Mesopotamian artifacts and selling them illegally. Not only can this bring money to criminal groups, it also destroys a lot of important information. Archaeologists keep very detailed notes when they excavate objects, including exactly where something was found, like what building, what room, and exactly what it was found with. This information, while it may seem kind of boring, actually helps to understand exactly what an object was for and how it was used. But if that object is looted from a site, those records aren't made and these details are just lost forever. Often, we don't even know what city a looted object is from, let alone what room in which building. Over time, the investigation of Mesopotamia developed into the fields of Assyriology, primarily the study of written evidence from Mesopotamia, and Near Eastern archaeology, a discipline focused on the scientific excavation of Mesopotamian settlements. The focus of Mesopotamian archaeology has also shifted, from looking only at big, impressive buildings, huge statues and jewellery made of gold and silver, to investigating where ordinary people like you and I lived and what their lives were like. That's obviously a pretty quick and simple explanation, but if this is something that interests you, then you can find resources with more information in the description box below. Thank you again to Blake and his awesome hair. And remember, if you want to ask us a question, please email us at animatedmesopotamia@gmail.com. Parental permission is required for under 18s.